use that word and I'm not apologetic to it. Ameshika Makena na kina Duale na kina Kindiki. Remember Kindiki was Ruto's lawyer at the ICC. Duale said, kama watu wanakumbuka, the only time he will leave politics is when he sees Ruto is the president na amefinish term zake. That's when he will retire from politics. That means those people knows Ruto very well. And he cannot dismiss them. He cannot. Because once he does that, they are going to expose him. No maana tuchezea mchezo hapa. JKIA, let those flies land. No coming in, no going out. Wacha niggas land, yes. But kisha land wanaenda wapi? They have to use Mombasa Road. Kuna kale katani kako pale paitwaje hapa. Pale Cabanas pale ndani hapo hivyo. Pale Taj Mall. That place must be also be occupied. No exit, no entry. These major roads, they have to be occupied. Because wametuzoea. Ruto has done his things. Serious. How are you going to negotiate with Ruto in the first place? Nini mnaongea Ruto? He doesn't care. So, hakuna kusema si tufanye no. We have objectives and we know where to occupy. And not Tuesday and Thursday. That will lose the momentum. You have to come out each and every day. And memaliza.
Asante sana Dagi. And by the way, I'm just giving 3 minutes because I want to give as many speakers as possible a chance to come and just share their views. On the Jumbotron, I've put in a tweet. To some extent, I feel like we have forgotten also the other people who do not really have a lot of voice on this platform. So our small wigs, when you're still missing, Miss Giate, small wig na big wig inamaanisha nini. But if anyone is missing, post on that thread. We will keep amplifying until those people are found. Just go and comment on that tweet that I've put on the Jumbotron. If you're not able to see it, just go on my timeline as well, and you'll get. It's a thread of everyone still missing. Post them here and DM me with a big or small on this app. Miss Mwati. Not Mwati, Miss Kiman. Miss, that name always beats me. Miss Kimanti. Hey.
Kimanti, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Wanyama. Thank you, everyone. Let me start by saying, I feel like Ruto is taking us for a fool, and he's really going mad, honestly. If he's not mad, he's going mad. Anyway, every day I come here, I always talk about civic education and mobilization. And Wanyama, you've mentioned WhatsApp. When this started, we had started WhatsApp groups for Gen Z, where I was trying to get people to get into many WhatsApp groups as possible, so that if you get lost, you can be able to write. If you get arrested and if your friend gets lost or arrested, you can be able to like write on the WhatsApp group. Then an idea came up to me, Juicy. So I have started mobilizing youth to create groups in their own outskirts. In the outskirts of Nairobi, mostly na zile places zingine zote, so that people can have different groups za WhatsApp, so that people can join, where you share information. Na mi najua kama hapa kwa kwetu, I know like 10 Gen Zs. Of course, kama nilienda maandamano na Ayo and Wanyama, I know that asiporudi and I text him, I'm not reaching him, nitaandika kwa group niulize. So allow me to read. I read really fast. I hope 3 minutes hazitaniishia as I read, because this is what I have come up with over the last 48 hours, and that's what you're trying to do. We are few groups in. We are trying as much as possible to reach Gen Zs wakuwe na as many groups as possible. So nimeandika tunaorganize ma groups za mtaa za nje ya CBD. Ni muhimu kwa groups za area yako during hii maandamano for safety, mobilization na kuhakikisha kila mtu ako sawa. Plus mtu akipotea itakuwa easy kunotice in time and we report. pia kupeana saiki ya kutoka juu hautarudi home peke yako kwa sababu ya uoga. Kama uko kwa hizi areas, share link ya group yenyu. Kama hakuna group, tutatengeneza moja. Na of course msiogope DCI because everyone is like, tukiingia kwa hizi groups DCI, these people have been here hata huku. Sisi ndio wengi kualiko. So I have written the areas kama Kayole, Komarok, Dandora, Umoja, Kariobangi, Buruburu, Embakasi, Donholm, and all places. Every part of that. This will help us to kuena many people as possible, because we need numbers for us to occupy JKIA. Now watu watusikie, we need wherever we are occupying, we need a lot of numbers. So this is a part of mobilization where ukiwa kwa group yako na unajua kuna watu huko ushagua wako kwa groups, ukipata hiyo information unaambia vijana kaa 10. And Wanyama, I'm going to use an example. Wale watu walivotia Ruto last year, last election, watu walikuwa wameconvince. I had people convince 100 people. I know someone mwenye alisema aliconvince over 100 people wavotie Ruto. Na ungekuwa na contrary opinion, hata ungetandikwa. So what I'm trying to say, that same energy we used that time, we need to use the energy right now. Kuna watu hawana simu, kuna watu hawaingii X, kuna watu hata hawana WhatsApp as we know. Kuna watu wameibiwa masimu. Kuna watu wanaogopa kutoka because wanaogopa kurudi peke yao. So guys, we need to get into these groups. Personally, I'm in like 3 WhatsApp groups where we are sending that so that we can get. Right now, I have links for Thika Road. I have links for Machakos. Yes, people are creating links wananitumia, then I share links hapa kwa Twitter. I've been sharing links watu wanaingia so that you can be able to know. So without kuongeza more, please get like 10 people. Make sure uko na 10 people and more tukikuja Tuesday. Thank you and God bless.
Asante sana Miss Kimanthi. Now known your name. Asante sana. Albert Nsengu. Albert the Menace.
Sorry. It's taken a bit. Wanyama, I wanted to pick on where Mariam had actually left here. Thanks for this for the speaker option, of course. But I wanted to pick at where Mariam had left. Not voice of reason, but rather voice. I want to not really critic, but also question a few things, and the pragmatic side of everything. I understand the previous, not the immediate previous speaker, but the other one who was actually agitated and saying they want to cross the road at City Cabanas and all these other places. Echoing Mariam's question, what are the irreducible minimums? Like, what are we demanding? How is the message Ruto must go going to be affected? So do we really mean Ruto must go home? Or how is the message occupy City Cabanas or occupy Parliament or something packaged? I've seen occupy somewhere started as a peaceful way of occupying somewhere, but we now know clearly that people are now using it to actually be violent or actually be violent against these people. You've seen now I've seen also Gaido pushing occupy Boniface Mwangi's place, occupy Kai and Cairo's business or such a thing. So then it becomes something that is so vile, so then it's a revenge tactic. It's occupy the parliamentarians' home, so we are going there to burn their home, or we are going there. So it's like a code word for the violence. But at the same time, we want to have a peaceful country, and we want to say Ruto must go home constitutionally or such a thing. So I think there are double standards. Only a lot of very big, I don't want to call them bigwig, but it's so funny for me looking at everything. Very few people, of course, who own the organizations or the social justice movements are winning in this. People are moving out. Of course, they're inciting the youth. The youth are stepping out, of course, to go and push the agenda. But as we saw clearly in the past week, Ford Foundation is paying. Other people are paying. Donors are paying. You Twitter, like people on Twitter or diaspora are also contributing. So there are people actually getting funds out of everything, but at the same time, printing T-shirts and doing everything. But at the same time, there are youth actually dying on the street, trying to push a narrative that has no end. Like there's no, there's no end to this. The end is we can protest and we can picket, yes, but we can do it peacefully, and we cannot expect that the president will actually step down and leave the presidency. If we want to do it constitutionally, let's elect him. Not elect. Sorry, let's not re-elect him in 2027. It's fair enough. It's following the constitution. It's only 2 or 3 years down the line. But now we are only 2 years off politics, off the ballot, and now we are back to the cycle of politicking in the country. We are back to the cycle of agitation. People are not being productive. We are losing businesses. We are losing lives, which is a very important thing. For no reason, for a president that will still stay in power until 2027, and we will have a chance to actually remove him out of power. So for me, it's a bit ironical, and I really don't get the end game out of this. I really despise the diaspora that has been pushing this agenda for so long. I despise them for so much, a lot, that I've even not spoke on their platforms, because they're fueling or inciting the youth in the country. I understand that there are issues accountability, but we expect the same president to look at the issues accountability. So we can protest, we can do whatever, but let's have petitions. Let's write something to him. Like Mariam said, let's write something and say, okay, this is the reducible minimums, and we expect you to work on these things in this time. He dropped the cabinet. Of course, there are political players, and remember, appointing CSs is a political space. It's not. It's not. He won't appoint everyone in the country, so it's a political space. He will choose technocrats. Akina Kindiki are all technocrats. They are professors in the field that they are working in. So we cannot really now start thinking we want him out, but at the same time we want him to appoint people that we don't know. And if we propose, then we are asked to propose these people, but we don't propose people that we want, but we wait for him to act. So I don't want to sanitize the president. I understand he has some work to do, of course, to clean the corruption issue and accountability issues, which I also support. I am happy the bill was dropped, which was good. And now let's focus on institutional ways of actually winning the next strides, rather than actually incite the youth to be out on the streets. For me, that's it. You'll be out on the streets peacefully, I'll support it. But being out on the streets to occupy somewhere, to burn businesses down, to now start fighting against each other, I feel like it's getting messy, and I don't like such. Thanks a lot.
Albert.
Yeah.
Me personally, and I want to answer you as I go to the next person. I'm not full of answers, but this is how I've been seeing people trying to be on the borderline or try to push the side of the leaderless kind of thing to come to their side. One is, I've been reading what people are saying. So especially on the Kindiki matter, the others like Aden Duale, etc. Me, I don't want to go there because it's clear they are not fit for purpose entirely. We are looking at these
Wanyama,
things from the point of. Let me just finish first.
let me ask as you answer. Yeah. Have you seen the Somali business? Not really Somali. I don't want to tag them Somali, but rather the Kenyan Somali businesses that have risen up in the east side of Nairobi. You've seen what Isili has become. Don't you think those are capital owners? A whole block of voters, a whole block of capital owners in the country. The businesses are running. You've seen how many buildings in Kilimani or Kilelesha are all owned by a certain group of people.
Yeah. But my question is this, and this is where I come in with. I really need very clear communication. What is the relation between Aden Duale and the Somali community? He comes from there, but what is the relation with him being in office? Those are two
capital owners. So,
and
capital owners. We have to understand the country is not run by.
That is what we are trying to remove from the government of tokenism. That is what is ailing Kenya. The next thing
Do
is
you know what the
Amaluya.
Rockefeller
We will
Foundation
we will
does
easily
in? Okay.
say as well, using the same narrative, and I'm taking time to answer Albert because this is a question I get in all the different spaces. I can easily say Luyas are also majority in one way or another. They deserve something. Do I support Papa Roma being in speaker position? No. As much as he's been in foreign affairs for years and years and years, you can easily just jump in and say, okay, since he's been in foreign affairs for many years, he demands that he has the numbers, and lawyers also have businesses, etc., etc. He needs to be in that office. Those are very risky lines that we are. It's like one thing is leading to another. If we talk about capital owners and they want to be in one space, we'll have to bring in tribalism as well. So I really don't want us to go there. Lastly, it's this: he who comes should come with clean hands. Kindiki, from the beginning, people have been pro Kindiki. But is there goodwill? That's what we are speaking about. Is there really goodwill? Or is he there to do the master's bidding? That's the confusion that is there with the Kindiki appointment. It's not all these other things of people saying, oh, left, right, and center. There's a lot of people with a very good CV in Kenya, by the way. Very, very many. So let's look at these things clearly, logically, and as much as there's emotions involved in them, and we have a voice. And I said, when we come to these spaces, and the reason why I'm looking at clear communication is this: people hustle to come to buy bundles and come to these spaces. So whatever we are pushing, let's push it very clearly and avoid gaslighting in different spaces as well. I been around the diaspora community for some time, and Albert, you of all people should know that because we've been running around in this diaspora community spaces, even meetings, etc., etc. I was doing even diaspora opportunities at some point. It's one delicate community, but very important in terms of how they try assist some things back home. So we are already past the point of pitching the diaspora against the ones at home. This is Kenya, whether you're in diaspora or whether you're at home. But in the spirit of keeping the conversation going, I really need to go to the next speaker so that we get as many views as possible. And guys, when you come here to the speaker panel, remember, attack the idea, not the person. So let's keep the conversation.
Wanyama, I don't have a right of reply.
Less than a minute then.
Less
than a minute. I'm not even going to respond to it. Less than a minute. And I'm serious on that one.
Okay, easy, no problem. Thanks. Right of reply. Of course, I know we've run a lot of spaces on diaspora matters. What I'm calling incitement for me is, yes, I know we diaspora support a lot of things that are happening in the country, but I understand that the diaspora in a way becomes a woke part of the population, of course, because they are out there living in a different political jurisdiction or political climate in different countries. Yeah. So if a diaspora is in Europe, they expect that what's in Europe could actually be happening in their home country. So they wish the home country well, I understand, and they wish that things could be done differently or faster, or maybe as in their home or as in their host countries. But I understand that also there are home realities that sometimes we are blinded to. And the realities are the politics have been built for so long on a certain trajectory, which is so hard to break from, if not given time. Time should tell that something is been that a leader is actually moving away from the old type of doing things. But we don't expect that now. We don't expect that we are out on the rise. We complain and then we say, okay, the president drops the whole cabinet, and then we say, okay, now he's going to appoint fresh new people. What does fresh new people mean in a docket? What does it mean in progression of the agendas that were there in government? You know, there are a lot of things that actually are in leadership, and let me just drop it there because I think we really put a lot of weight on a number of sentiments that are put here. But if you really sit in some of these leadership roles or classes, then you really understand that it's not as easy as ABCD or biting your apple and going home. The president, you've seen how bad the president is becoming day in, day out, even on matters health. it's not, leadership is not what you think. I just drop it at that. Okay.
Thanks, Albert. I don't necessarily agree with most, but this is a discussion for another time. Hirad.
Thank you very much for having me. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear. Like Katatu.
Yeah.
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Thank you very much for that. I would like to, add, my political point of view, and also to understand, what is, the agenda. What is the conclusion you want to reach after all these demonstrations? And we know Africa, the most of the political parties are tribe societies pushing one man, because of believing they are he from one tribe, and the others try to take the power from using a tribal political parties. So do you think you can educate your members and this those who want to participate this kind of civil resistance in order for you to change the the corrupted institutions that